Well, I have no idea what to rant about because I have no idea what is happening out there. I've been away from the world for a little while, so I'm going to rant about original work. Now, you will ask yourself a question, Pavel, what are you talking about now? I'm going to explain to you. I've noticed a lot of so-called experts and scholars writing a lot of books out here lately, and sort of like basically accepting and even telling you what they're doing and quoting people's name, and that is kind of confusing to me, because if I write a book, why should I be quoting somebody else's name in my book? I'm going to give you an example of what I'm talking about. Okay, let's talk about, I don't know, Isabel de Trastamara, Isabel la Católica, or Isabel the Universal Saint, because that lady, she is a saint. So now a fellow writes a book about Isabel la Católica and how she died and where she died at, and her testament and where she was buried, and the French, when they attacked the Iberia Peninsula, they did not basically destroy her burial place or her resting place and so on. So now this fellow is talking all of this, and then he says something like this, according to somebody else. So he's writing a book about what somebody else have written before. And I've seen a lot of people writing books about the Hellenes, about the Iberians, about tribes of the Iberian Peninsula, about European tribes in general, about African tribes, about tribes in the United States of America, and so on. And they are basically repeating the job of somebody else. Very few actually do the research on the land. What they doing, they researching others people's books. That is what they're doing. They calling themselves researchers, but they're repeating what somebody else have written. They have not do the walk on the land and trying to learn from the land, from reality, what happens. Very few do original research, and of those few, very limited writers, I guess you can call it, or scholars, admit there is erroneous, because apparently they lose their jobs. Apparently they say, if I say that, people are going to think that I am crazy and I'm going to lose my job. Or if I say something not accepted by all these oligarchy controllers, I don't get a grant, or something's going to happen negative. So what I have to do is just keep along, trucking along, repeating what somebody else already said in front of me. And that is the reality. That is what I have noticed in the information right now, and from history books to so-called reality writing that is not real, it's just a repeating. just looking at all these YouTube videos about history and about weaponry and about all these crazy things they are defending. I'm going to give you an example of that. The Hellenes, the Greeks, come up with this concept of a continent, and it is in the name, continent, continuous, continuous land mass. Basically, any land mass that is continuous, it doesn't matter how big it is a continent. Not confused with the island. It has to be a great land mass. So now, the question is, how many continents are they? Well, I say there is 4. And prove me erroneous. So, now we have the English, during the, I don't know, late 1700s and early 1800s, start taking control of the oceans militarily. So they have tremendous advance in cartography, and they invented the clock, longitude. So now you have the English controlling basically the name of the geography. So what they do, they change their name, they change the term, they change the term, so benefit them. So nothing in front of that time made maps by them is real. Is everything after is real. So now you get an Encyclopedia Britannica, and it says they have 7 continents, and the American continent is divided in 2, North and South America. But that is no truth. That is something that they created, that they corrupt, because remember, the original term is a continent, a continuous land mass. So for political reason, the terms are changed, and if you accept it, they are 7 continents. But then I come along and explain to you that the Hellenes, way before the English, way before the Spaniards, way before the French, already have the term figured out. And that is the one that I accept, the original term. So now you write a book and you say, according to the English navigators. And if you change that, if you change in your book, if you tell everyone on your book, hey, you are erroneous when you name erroneously, they are 7 continents. And they are going to come back and defend it. No, that is not truth. We have a Encyclopedia Britannica to say it. And then you write on the bottom, according to the Encyclopedia Britannica, they are 7 continents. So there you have it. That is how it works. Is the people are afraid. People no longer have the freedom of intellect. No longer have it, because they fear consequences, political consequences. And it is very real everywhere you see it, everywhere you go. So I say to you guys, free yourself, fear not. They have to fear you. You fear no one, let them fear you. So I say very clearly, there is 4 continents. Prove me erroneous. And fear me, because I'm going to destroy that little 7 continents that you have created. And the reason is that I have the Hellenes to defend me. Yes, the Hellenes from Alta Graecia, Italic Peninsula. And you writers, do the work that needs to be done. Get out and travel. Get out and go to the Milvian Bridge in Rome and see where Christianity, and walk where Christianity was created by Constantine the Great. And just go out there and have a cappuccino coffee on the building that is right on the corner. Saludos.